aufgestanden weckt. So, welcome back guys. After giving you two parts of which moves you shouldn't overuse or shouldn't use at all, I will now start discussing the core strategy of Yoshimitsu, and I'm gonna cover around 20 moves that you should use in every matchup. I'm not gonna cover them all in this video because I'm recording this video the 4th time because every attempt was too long, and that's why I will hurry up this time. So, the core strategy against Yoshimitsu is to sidestep left up close and to sidewalk right or sidestep right a little bit further away in mid-range. And keep in mind, I think that you need to sprinkle in some gimmicks to beat better opponents, but the core strategy, the foundation of the strategy should revolve around the moves that I'm gonna show you step by step. I'm gonna explain them and give you a deep insight why I use them and when I will use them. So we will start with the first move, which is sidestep 1. Sidestep 1 is a 17 to 18 frame mid, which is -9 on block, so afterwards you can Kitcho parry for jabs or duck flash, which I don't recommend use all the time, but sometimes you can sprinkle that in. It's a counter hit launcher, which is the most important part about it, and it's +2 on hit, which means not a lot. You shouldn't press buttons all the time afterwards, but at the wall you can actually go for a 2-1 to wall splat the opponent. Why do I use this move? Because of the sidestep animation, it has good tracking to his left. It doesn't have good tracking to his right though. Sometimes it does, like here, if they only sidestep, but if they sidewalk, it all of a sudden tracks as well. I promise you sometimes it whiffs like this, but I'm not gonna cover that. It has very, very good range for a counter hit tool. It hits from around here. You have to keep in mind, due to the sidestep animation, you have to count in 2 frames more, so it's around 20 frame startups. It's kind of telegraphed due to the sidestep, but overall a very good move. And if you hit them in the air, it will throw them over like down 2-2 for instance. Man, can I please get this? Yeah, like this. For good OP situations. Overall, a very good tool if you fish for counter hits. And there are a lot of situations which I will cover in a different video where this move is very, very good. The next one is my favorite one, I think. One of my favorite ones and one of the best mid strings in that game. It's down to 2. 16 to 70 frame startup, mid. The first one on hit is 0, the second one is +7, which means that you can do a down for 2 and it cannot be stepped. Backdash is possible, but it cannot be interrupted or sidestepped. And of course your down for 2 is safe. You also have the option to down back 3-3 afterwards or down forward 1+2, which is a little bit risky. The first hit is, the second hit is hit confirmable, so you can always delay this very long. There is an extension down to 1 for wall splats, which is also hit confirmable and safe, but it's a high, very good at the wall. The range is very deceptive. It is actually pretty decent if you think what the move is, and at the wall it creates a very strange pushback. At max range it's +1 as you see. And it is also, the second hit is a counter hit launcher, which is very underrated. And since you can delay the string quite a bit, it's very, very good actually. And every time when I have plus frames, I use this move if I want to check the opponent. Because on plus, this actually is very hard to step. But in neutral, it is easy to step. The first hit up close can be difficult. Like, if he's right in your face, it has some tracking, but not reliable. Like if they step to Yoshimitsu's weak side, they will always evade it. But if you on hit, like if you hit a jab for instance, they cannot step this. And of course, you can go into no sword stance. On block this is -12, but not a lot of people will go for the punish because you have the extension, the 1, which tracks to one side and is safe but high. Gives a very, very good knockdown where you can go for Kitcho forward 1 and it will hit shallow for +4. And you can also go for dash up CD1, which will be blocked shallow as well, where it's very, very hard to punish. And a lot of times you can actually catch the punish attempt of your opponent. And you also have the threat of down 1, which is now a counter hit launcher, but it's steppable and it's jab punishable. There is actually, if you don't delay this, you can fuzzy guard both options. That's why you should always delay the ender to make the fuzzy not a thing anymore. The next one is up 4, avoiding the puddle, a very famous move and evil that you need. Unfortunately, it's 20 frames slow, but if you hit it shallow, it's actually 22. It's a knockdown on hit and -9 on block, but it's a homing, it's mid, and it crushes lows. This move would be so much better if it was I-18 or I-19 every time, but it's very comparable to King's Fort 4. It's a necessary evil. You need to use this move because Yoshimitsu's biggest weakness is his tracking. And to keep your opponents on their toes when you're at plus and keep them like honest, you have to throw this move in. The low crushing is good, but the low hitbox is not, which is very strange because this used to be a bound move. So if someone does a sweep, could be that you go over this. The knockdown is very good. You can dash up CD1. If they stay on the ground, you will hit them like this. And if they block it, they will hit it, block this shallow, which means the punish attempt is very difficult. And you can Kicho Fort 1 for +4, which means Kicho Fort 1 is -12. At the wall, not to mention, this move is very, very good. It wall splats, and even if it doesn't wall splat due to the knockdown, you get a free CD1 if they're at the wall after the knockdown, and can be used from full crouch for some mind games, but not a real mix-up. Very good move overall, just very bad range, so it can be backdashed, and it's very deadly on whiff, so be careful about that. The next moves we're going to cover, I'm going to mention together. Because they're staple for every character. The first one is down for 1, the second one is down for 2. So let's start with his down for 1. Down for 1 is a very strange down for 1. It has very good range, I-13, hits from range 2.4 to 2.5 almost. Is +5 on hit, which is decent. A gray zone where people still can step you, but sometimes they rather backdash. But it is for a down for 1, -4 is actually a lot for down for 1 for your main mid poking tool. But it has super good range. It doesn't track as well, but it's very good. If you dash it in, you can hit it from around here to keep the opponent honest and on their toes. It has an extension that counter hit launches, which you should use sparingly to make the counter hit a little bit more often occur if you use it. You can delay it a little bit, but you cannot hit confirm it. The opponent can duck it and launch you. Yeah, what else to say about this move? -4 is actually not that bad for Yoshimitsu because flash is 6 frames, so if the opponent rushes in, you can hit them with this. And you can also power crush, but I would at -4 sometimes sidestep 1, but either backdash or just sidestep backdash. But Yoshimitsu has a lot of options in this kind of situation. And the range is very, very good. Cannot be overstated. The next one is down for 2. I cover those moves together because they're generic, but his down for 2 is one of the best in the game. It's safe at -7. It's 15 frames, which is always good. It has very, very good range. If you see this, it will hit from 2.3 from around here. Normal hit launcher, of course. Doesn't launch crouches, but -7 is actually decent for a block down for 1. You can duck flash, you can Kichu parry, you have your options, which I advise not to use all the time. Use that sparingly. If you condition them and do nothing after they block this 3 times and then you throw in the flash or a CD2, they will be, what the fuck just happened? The good thing is really the range about this move, and it actually has some tracking. It is not as good at lost down for 2, and it's not that reliable. And of course, to his left, it doesn't track at all. But it can catch steppers, and what this move is commonly used for is for whiff punishing, as a sidestep punish if you successfully sidestep a move, or just from backdashing, throwing this out. And you will see if the opponent moves into this, or you dash up and do it, the range is actually very, very good. I really love this down for 2, and there is never a situation where I shouldn't use this, actually. Just a very, very core move from him. And the next one is forward 1+2, and the last one we're gonna cover in this video. Sorry. Forward 1+2 has so many purposes. It's very a move that you cannot use enough. It has super long range. It hits from range 3 like this, and if you dash this in, it hits from around here, so almost full screen. It is like Fakum Ram's forward 1+2. If they block it, the situation is very good. It has a lot of distance between you, and it is -7. It's a little bit slow on 18 frames, but it tracks to his weak side. And this is very hard to replicate in P mode, but I promise you, this tracks to his left. Even though I cannot show you, you have to take my word for it, this has decent track into his weak side. The knockdown is the same, where you can dash up CD1 if you do it correctly. You can also go for Moonsault, but they can backdash this. That's why I most likely use CD1. They will block it shallow. Or you can go for Kicho 1, but this is kind of iffy. You have to backdash and then do it for it to be +4. Sorry. It gives a good knockdown, good round ending tool, good mix-up. Together with Fubuki, it makes this range game very, very scary. And if you backdash and throw this out, you have to be worried that sometimes you're gonna get a very strange grab that you don't want. But overall, this is a move that I use 3 to 4 times in a match. And if I hit something shallow, and I think they will backdash, I throw this move. For instance, after down 4-4 on hit, you see the distance between the characters. If he backdashes, I will still clip him with this. If I dash this up, this will always connect. If I hit someone on wake up and I don't want to commit to a CD1, dash forward 1+2, and they are forced to block it. This move is good on wake up, it's good to end rounds with, it's good if you have plus frames, it's good all the time. It's just a little bit slow, so you have to be aware of that. So sorry if this seemed kind of rushed, but I didn't want to make this a 20-minute video. I will make 3 to 4 parts of this, so I hope you stay tuned for it. And yeah, see you in the next one. Goodbye.